Ready to go here. They got a new goalie in there, and they tried to come up here and get Rick to go down here and play goalie, but Rick didn't have his uniform.
I didn't have my uniform with me. I left my chest protector in the car. St. John Paul comes. This is kind of
that's not there.
This is the story of the game in some respects, because this St. John Paul team has some talent, more than they've shown. They come up with a nice play on the face-off against our guy, who's a good face-off man, Austin
We get that clock running,
and then they throw the ball.
One of you guys are gonna yell.
Keep it running. We won't yell at all. If you keep it running, we'll praise you. I think the clock is running, Rick. I think we're already into the mode.
Oh, good.
Probably because they let's tell them what happened. The first half, the goalie for John Paul got hit on the toe. We heard possibly a broken toe.
Yeah.
He finished the half. I saw him coming off the field limping, but he can't play. He's not going back in the second half. So they had to recruit somebody to play goalie.
Yeah,
that's tough.
That is tough. But you know what? At the same time, this is a varsity league, and you have to be prepared for that stuff. You got to have a second-string goalkeeper. And
now this number 8, I'm assuming he's played a little goalkeeper in his life, but he wasn't prepared to play today.
Well, maybe he's a midfielder. That's a nice fake and finish. Sam O'Keefe to Ty Harnisfager, sophomore to senior. They still have their starting attack in there, the Whalers do, and I think that's not a bad idea. Start the second half off, get some rhythm going. If it continues the way it has been, then you'll start to sub in with Knapp and Cole and so forth.
Well, we got the clock is running, so it's going to be a quick second half.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it is. I mean, we're already at the 10-minute mark. So.
Yeah.
The only time they'll stop it is if it is a timeout.
Well, John Paul knows he's in tough shape. His team's not playing well today, and now he has to finish the game without his regular goalkeeper. So that's not a situation you want to be in.
Back to West. I think now it's going to be a short second half. You might not see them sub as much because they want to get their starters some more reps. They're playing well. You want them to, sometimes it's kind of muscle memory. You play well, and you want to keep those guys in there so they'll get a good workout. And this is not an unathletic St. John Paul team. Gambroni with a nice hard shot.
Well, you never know. You sit your first unit down, and I remember that from coach. You sit your first unit down, and they don't play at all. They become stale, and then it's hard to get them back ready for the next game.
Exactly. And that's Harnish figure with a righty sidearm shot over the goalie's left shoulder.
Who was that again?
Harnish figure unassisted, and I think the goalkeeper that time obviously, he flinched. If he had just stood. What you teach goalies is, Dick and Gino, is just when all else stay on that pipe. And if he had just stood tall on that pipe, that shot would have hit him in the chest. But he flinched a little bit. It's human nature if you're not a full-time goalie, I guess, and ducked and it went over his shoulder. Here is number
Murphy
21.
Ben Murphy taking a phase off. That's his first of the day.
Yep. Another one of these midfielders that Nantucket really wants to get some experience for. Here's it.
Nice.
Spencer with a one-handed interception.
Good. He's a little star. Look at him.
Well, Spencer's really come into his own in the last season and a half. He's really, he didn't get much playing time until last year, and I think he maybe should have gotten it earlier on, to tell you the truth. But he's turned into a good little player. James Culkin's out there along with Ben Murphy. And they have Bartlett out there with his long stick. I sort of hate to see that. I think Nantucket's got to get their other short sticks more experience. And, Cam's not going to be playing offense against in the playoffs, with a long stick anyway. You might see him with a short stick later this year. Typically, you'll see long sticks stay on the field during breakaways, but then once the breakaway's over, they'll come off. Because they do score from time to time. Here's Harnischweger with another one.
Jeez, a couple of them.
Ty's going for style points there. He probably shoots it overhand. It's going to go in.
Hey, Sam, stay! Guys, get a little tighter, Ben!
Harnish,
Hey, guys, leave! Get a little tighter!
O'Keefe mishandles. Picks it up, though. O'Keefe has kind of a funny stride. He kind of looks like he's not going full speed, but then next thing you know, he beats his man. Less carries behind.
There's a lot of guys on Nantucket that are sneaky fast. That's why I think I said that at the beginning of the game. Are they much faster than Pope John? Or are they just a little bit quicker, sneaky quick?
I just think it's partly that, it's partly stick skills, and it's also just strategy. I think Nantucket's executed really well against this zone. Now Bartlett's out there with his long stick. I really kind of don't understand why, but well, I guess maybe I want to get him some points. Now he's going to set a pick. Ben Murphy trying to set up a dodge. Throws a not so great pass to West, who carries it up top lefty. He is a natural left, or he's a natural righty, but he has a very good left. Here comes Bartlett with that long stick, forcing a bad pass into West. A little sloppy here. Harnisfigger.
Look at that little, ooh.
Harnisfigger picks it out of the air. Bartlett with a nice ground ball. Camp's excellent ground ball player. And obviously looking for points here.
That was pretty amazing.
That was a Cam.
Okay, now Cam's coming off. They're going to put Terrain back on. I don't mean to belabor the point with Cam. I know he just wants to have a good time, but want to keep extra, playing your patterns with your regular assortment of sticks, long sticks and short sticks in their positions. Keith carries the ball, bounces out of his stick when he's running.
Yeah, one of the few unforced errors on the Whalers today.
Yeah, they haven't had many turnovers, that's for sure. St. John Paul clearing the ball. Goalkeeper with a desperate pass.
If I was goalkeeper, that's what I would do. Just throw it down the other end.
You know what?
Get
I think
everybody
it's a
away
great
from it.
idea. Look at this. Oh, that was a beauty.
That strategy is called a Gilman clear because it was employed by Gilman School in Baltimore back in the 20s.
Well,
Okay.
To this day, it's still called a Gilman clear.
I would use it if I was goalkeeper. I would use it every time.
Well, it's really not very efficient against a good team.
Kind of like the Hail Mary from the St. Mary's School of Design and Function. Remember that? From 19, where the Hail Mary came from?
Does that came from that?
No, I just made that.
They're making that up, yeah. I
Sounds good, doesn't it?
thought I would have heard that story a long time ago,
Terrain
Gene.
moving the
I'm
ball
hearing it
along.
first from you.
Making some space for Gambroni for that. He'll put it in his left here. Nice look inside to Terrain. And Terrain doesn't quite have a handle on it. And you haven't seen Terrain dodge as much this year because we've been playing almost exclusively against zone
To
defenses.
finish that story, Gino, and
About Hail Marys?
About Hail Marys, I don't know the team, but I think this is true. And maybe you can look it up. The first time it was used, the quarterback just threw it up there, and somebody caught it in the end zone at the end of the game. And they asked the quarterback, was that the play? And he just said, no, I threw the ball and prayed.
Yeah, right. I mean, it sure makes sense.
Here's, Pope John Paul, St. John Paul, I keep saying Pope John Paul, which they used to be.
They used to be
Before
Pope.
he was a saint. But,
Well, you know why it's not Pope John? Because there's another one up in Greater Boston.
oh, really?
That is Pope John, so they left the Pope off this one to make them different from each other. Because they want to play each other,
So this one's St. John?
just St. John Paul
Well, how come they
now.
don't have that on the shirt? It just says JPP.
That's what it
JP.
John Paul.
So it's not St.
Nantucket,
Or is it?
Nantucket right
It's
now
John Paul High, right.
is taking some kind
John
of kick.
Paul is a saint, though.
Okay, yeah.
Nantucket's taking some careless shots here, sidearm, so forth. There we go, nice fit. Oh,
Oh, gee.
just drops it off. He tried.
Yeah.
That was a fake. The ball just came out of his
There's
stick.
another one. Look at that. Look at that.
We let them get behind their defense.
Oh,
That
he
was
had him.
that was
He had him.
that was
looking-
Austin.
The kid knows it. Look,
That was Austin Starr.
knew it.
Austin Starr. That's
frustrating.
Austin Starr, midfielder who was back and probably didn't realize that he was going to be required to play close defense there.
I'm looking at the schedule here, and it's listed on the schedule as St. John Paul II.
It is. Okay, so it is.
St. John Paul
It's
II.
definitely St. John Paul.
Because that's what I write it in when we put them on
Right.
TV.
So 2:30 left in this one. Nantucket with a 17-2 lead. The reserves are starting to filter in. It's getting very chilly here at the field, and we thought it'd be warmer doing the lacrosse game than the softball game today.
I'd say
The
it
only
was
the
a
only
good
thing that saved, the only thing that better do in the softball game is that it was a quicker game. You would have only been colder for a shorter period of time.
Well, the result was kind of similar.
Softball won 20-1, and Lacrosse is ahead 17-2. But right now the clock is running, so it's going to be over very
Flag
quick.
down on St. John Paul. Spencer West comes
Oh,
around.
yeah, that's a foul. You can't do that.
Yeah, they got him.
Flags out on both ends here. Both
Are they gonna
referees
keep
saw
it?
that
No,
one.
they did stop the clock on that.
I think they're going to just. I thought they got him for 2 penalties. They got him for a slash and a cross check. Okay, the goalie was called for a penalty, but they're going to let him stay on the field because of the situation with there not being a backup goalkeeper. So it's going to be 6-on-4 here for 1 minute. If Nantucket chooses to right now, they're going to put some more pressure on the goalie. But these fouls are not locked in, so I expect you'll see Nantucket get a good shot early. If they score, the penalties will release, and they'll be at even strength again.
So the penalty's called at the 122 mark.
Quiet, Robbie. Always need a break.
And Terrain takes the outside shot from 10.
And that's going to probably do it for the
Takes that.
quarter.
Now they'll get the penalty over, and
Takes
that's Terrain's first of the day, and the bench will get themselves in there. I would assume for most of the fourth period. Portions of this game brought to us by Sun Island Fuel. Check them out, 5 Sun Island Art. Keeper's Restaurant, 5 Amelia Drive, 228-0009. They're open for dinner Monday to Thursday, breakfast Saturdays and Sunday mornings. Island Lumber. We cover the island for over 50 years. Go Whalers, Island Lumber. That was a nice save.
Yeah, that's a nice play. Nantucket on the ride, harasses them into a turnover. Hunter McHeckner over to O'Keefe, who looks, thinks better of it, gets flagged down. Not sure what the penalty is.
Hold it.
But Nantucket wants to hold the ball here.
Because there's 6 seconds.
They'll have it to start this fourth quarter without a face-off.
All right, so a penalty coming on St. John Paul. At the end of 3 periods, it's 18-2. We'll take a short break and be back with fourth period action. Fourth quarter underway. No face-off to start the fourth quarter. Explain how that happens, Rick.
Well, when a penalty is a time foul is in force or a flag is down, that's going to lead to a time foul. The team that has the ball in their possession to start the next quarter, at the end of the quarter, gets it to start the next quarter without a face-off. So it doesn't matter if it's the offense or defense. Whichever team has that ball gets it without a face-off. If nobody has the ball, if it's loose, then there's a face-off. Nice play, very nice.
That's just beautiful.
Nice
man.
rotation play.
That's awesome.
You know, Marsh Chambers installed that set last week, and he had seen it in a Johns Hopkins game. And I remember I was talking to him the next day. He said, "I think we're going to go with a 3-3 from the side, and we're getting Harnischfeger and West and so forth open every time." And that's what it was again that time.
All right, so Nantucket has emptied their bench. I just saw a bunch of New Jerseys heading in there.
We have the freshman attack, and I think these are all 3. I may be wrong, but I think all 3 of these guys are natural lefties. It's Cole Evans, Cosmo, and I believe it's Cam Knapp, Lindsay and Amy Knapp's son.
Face-off out there.
And of course,
brought to
Amy
us
used to
by-
coach our.
So yeah, give us the names of the kids, Rick. I appreciate that.
Okay, go ahead. The rest of them, Rick?
Yep. Well, right now it's our regular team in there. Although Ferrara is in there on defense. Ethan Ferrara, the number 7.
Okay.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Is he wearing 31?
There's a 30 in there. I don't have a 30
It's
in my
Alex.
roster.
Alex Freeman is number 31 in on defense, and then along with Willett and Hickman are still in there. I think Alex Freeman might be the guy that Coach Aloisi was referring to as a player that might be getting some more minutes as time moves along here. Nantucket chasing sticks, but they get the ball down. Hickman up with it. Lacrosse field, Robert. Uh-oh. That could have been a buddy pass, but it worked out all right.
So who's this?
Right now, this is, I believe that's Cole Evans, along with Cam Knapp, and number 30, Cosmo, whose name I can't recall. I guess his folks run the tavern. And here's Ben Murphy. He was in earlier. And here, James Culkins, number 38, along with Hunter McEachern, who goes lefty over to Cosmo. Carries it in his right hand. Now it's back to his natural left, looking to get it behind to Knapp. These guys are good little players. I mean, they got a number of points in the first couple of games I've seen. Knapp across.
We're in the fourth period here. Portion of this game brought to us by Cognitive Home Insurance, specializing in personal commercial lines of insurance, auto, home, marine business. Cognitive Coleman, 57 Main Street. Seagrow, all the locals call home. Great fish and excellent seafood at the Seagrow.
Jack! Look him! Look at Colin! Four! Turn to stay! Broken!
So, St. John Paul trying to get a little bit going here. But
James Culkins.
Yeah.
James Culkins makes a mental error for an inexperienced guy. He touched the ball with his hand. You can't do that. So
Pulling kids in, coaches.
yeah, I mean, well, basically they're subbing all the midfielders in attack that are reserves now, and they also have their reserve keeper in.
Go, Joey! Somebody with a score like that.
Who's our backup goalie?
Portion of this game brought to you by Arrowhead Nursery, where home and garden meets. Arrowhead Furniture, indoor, outdoor, rugs, decor. Arrowhead Nursery, 9 Wampapong Way,
George
7:40
Bouchard's
to go.
in the goal for Nantucket. So Nantucket's only got a couple of starters on the field now. Robert Hickman and Cam Willett are still out there. Everybody else is a reserve. They don't have enough defenders to substitute for everybody, so those guys are still out there.
We're going to do our 3 stars here in a moment, Rick.
Okay, Dick, you go first as usual, because you have the stats.
Nice job, Robbie! Yeah, Come on, Wilson!
St. John Paul moving the ball around patiently, but unfortunately that's not really what they need. They need to create some offense, and once again they can't really run by any of the Nantucket players, even the reserves, so it's difficult to make the defense rotate if you're not moving the ball that fast and you're not beating somebody.
That was a nice score.
Outside shot by number 6, Mikey Sakovic. He's their best player scoring-wise. He used
the 31 there standing in front of him, Alex Freeman on my schedule, but I think you have a different name for. But anyways, nice screen there, and he got himself
6
a
minutes
nice
left,
goal.
Dick. Score.
6:05 to go. It's your Nantucket Whalers 19, St. John Paul the second 3.
Now, isn't this the same score we've had for like 3 games in a row now, 19-3? I think it is.
That's the lucky.
Right.
That's the lucky number. Let's get all the scores. I'll get the boys' record out here, and yeah, the girls' game we ended up 20-7, so they broke the 19. Boys this year has
Hunter McEachern after it.
Beat Falmouth Academy 16-2. We didn't do that game. Sturgis East, we did that game, Rick, and you're right, that was 19-3. Cape Cod Academy, I guess we did the Cape Cod Academy game. That was 19-3. Then they beat Cape Cod Tech 16-1, and Sturgis West 17-2. Coming into this game, Rick, the average score in the first 5 games was 17.5 to 2. So they've broken their average here today. They're up to 19. So their average is probably up to 18 goals a game. Now that's pretty good.
Yeah, well, it's particularly considering the fact the clock's been running in the fourth quarter of every game, and they've been giving their reserves a lot of playing time. And that's really, you know, we talked about the schedule and how it hurts us. I guess if there's a silver lining there, that, you know, the younger guys are going to get more playing time, and maybe that'll prepare them for some primetime action in terms of giving the team depth in the playoffs.
Yeah, and I mean, even these younger kids are doing great. Look at them.
Okay, we have the 3 stars today. The 3 stars are brought to us by Don Allen Auto Center. New and used vehicles on sale at Don Allen. Okay, I'm going to go with my number 3 star to Spencer West. He was a spark plug today, I thought. 2 goals, 3 assists. My number 2 star is going to go to another spark plug today, Sam O'Keefe. He had the hat trick on both sides. 3 goals, 3 assists, and we have a goal out there by number 14, Hunter. That's his second of the game. And my number 1 star is going to go to Ty Harnischfeger. 7 goals today. He probably missed 2 or 3 open, but 7 goals. My number 1 star, Ty Harnischfeger.
Yeah, I think those are all really good choices, Dick. And I'm going to just one different one, and I think all 3 years are great, and I would agree with that. But I think Austin Starr, no oddly enough name, deserves a star because he was really strong today at the face-off. So, I mean, he won practically every draw that he took, and then whatever chance St. John Paul had of making this close was really negated by his play at the face-off dot.
That sounds like the start of a riddle. Austin Starr's gonna get a star. That's one of Rick's stars.
Yeah. But I think all 3 attackmen played well, and I think they all are deserving. And I also think, our first midfield's playing very unselfish ball. Gambroni had some nice outside shots, but he was feeding the inside well also. And Terrain Burton is playing very, very unselfish lacrosse this year. And he'll be there for the one-on-one dodge when we really need him in the tougher games. He's just an outstanding athlete. And he's got a future playing at the next level in lacrosse if he chooses to do so. I'll tell you that right now. That speed is just what Division I coaches look for in their defensive, especially in their defensive midfielders. Here's a good opportunity for Nantucket to just practice shutting off down the field. Number 6 here breaks to the ball.
It's a great opportunity for the young kids getting a chance to play against a real varsity team rather than just practicing against the teammates.
Yeah, and it's great to get experience like this. Means that when you get into a varsity game, you don't have the nerves the next time. You get used to it. I think we all remember getting put in our first varsity game and how nervous you can be.
Oh, that's for sure.
Especially if you're a freshman or sophomore. Nice and patient. I think that's Cole Evans there. Yeah.
Nice little move.
No, it's not. Number 26.
Who is that?
So it's Hudson Perry.
See, we're in a different number
he's
today.
wearing a different number
Hudson
today.
has a different number every game.
His number now.
Hudson's got his regular number on. Dad just told us he had a different number last time we
Nice.
26.
He completely forgot about that he had people behind him.
Well, his teammates ought to tell him. But anyway, this.
Do you think they should have screamed at him?
Oh yeah, well, he probably.
Yeah.
Maybe they did.
Somebody's on your back. No, but I didn't hear anything.
No.
Poor kid.
53 seconds left in this contest.
Ooh.
Cole Evans with a shot. And once again, sorry, we don't have all these numbers, and there's been some jersey changes. I don't see Caden Shea out there today. I don't know if he's around somewhere or not. I saw his mom in Wisconsin today. She said she was going to the game, so I assume he's playing. This second attack unit, all freshmen, 3 freshmen moving the ball along. All 3, I believe, are natural left-handers. 17 seconds left. Ball's loose in the midfield. Cam will let up with it. 4 seconds. And this one's in the books.
Okay, that will do it. Nantucket's going to go to 6-0, and they're off to a flying start. Third of the season, 6-0, averaging 18 goals a game. They got themselves in good position.
Now, did they have another game this week before vacation?
Yeah. I think Thursday they have one more.
So assuming they win that one, they'll be 7-0 with only 11 games left to be played after the break. So they'll have more practice time than ordinarily.
Yeah, the break's coming up. School vacation starts this Friday. There's no game scheduled at all until the following Saturday. So, some teams will probably try to practice a little bit, and so forth and so on.
I think a lot of the guys might be going to Canada.
Canada?
I think there's a trip to Canada over spring break.
Oh, okay. Okay.
When I was in school, spring break, I just, if I got into Boston for a day, that was good. But now they go out of the country.
We always had to practice, and if you missed those practices, you got cut. So
All right, so we thank Rick for calling today's game. Gino on camera. This is Dick Herman saying good night for Land Sports TV. Remember to put a smile on your face each and every day, even if you're laughing yourself. Go Red Sox, they really need it. Go Bruins, playoffs coming up. Go Celtics. One final game in the playoffs starting.
go Whalers.
You can go Whalers as usual.